Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. On Wednesday night, the Russian army launched a massive bombardment of Ukrainian cities. Drones also entered NATO territory in Poland. In total, Russia deployed 415 attack drones and more than 40 missiles. The main targets of the strikes were in western Ukraine. In the Zapad region, several businesses and private homes were damaged. One person was killed and another injured. In Vinnytsia, industrial facilities were hit, but no injuries were reported. During the Russian strikes on Ukraine, drones entered Polish airspace. 4 airports were closed, including both in Warsaw. Military aircraft from Poland and other NATO countries were scrambled. One drone struck a residential building in Wola of eastern Poland, but no one was injured. Drone and missile components were also reportedly found near a cemetery in southeastern Poland. The country has called an emergency NATO Council meeting to discuss the drone incursions. Ukrainian President Zelensky said that Ukrainian military officials had informed the Polish side about the movement of the Russian drones during the night. Meanwhile, a Russian airstrike on Tuesday killed 24 elderly civilians and wounded 19 others in the village of Yarova in eastern Ukraine. They had gathered to collect their pensions. President Zelensky said the strike was carried out with a guide bomb and hit a settlement located several kilometers behind the front line. In response, Ukrainian unmanned boats attacked a key Russian port in the city of Novorossiysk on Wednesday morning. Authorities say no one was injured. Novorossiysk has become the main base for Russian military ships after earlier Ukrainian attacks made Sevastopol too dangerous for the fleet. The port is also one of the largest commercial hubs on the Black Sea and plays a key role in supplying Russian troops in southern Ukraine. And moving to the front line, in the Pokrovsk sector, the Russian army is in danger of defeat due to repeated attempts to break through to Dobropilya. Kremlin forces continue their push despite changes in Ukrainian operational tactics aimed at cutting them off in the area. Now, coming back to Poland, the country will close its 2 remaining border crossings with Belarus at midnight on Thursday. The closure comes amid security concerns over the Russian-led Zapad 2025 military exercises being held with Belarusian forces. The large-scale drills, which begin Friday, are set to include scenarios involving the possible use of nuclear weapons and the deployment of the Russian-made intermediate-range hypersonic airstrikes missiles, according to the Belarusian defense minister. Ukrainian aviation continues to provide effective support to ground forces. A pair of Su-25 attack aircraft carried out a series of precision strikes on enemy positions, attempting to advance along frontline areas held by armed forces of Ukraine. These operations not only weaken the occupiers' combat potential, but also enhance the safety of Ukrainian units on the front line. The Su-25 aircraft demonstrated both the high skill level of the pilots and the accuracy of their weaponry. In the Volchansk area, UAV operators working with artillery crews from the Ukrainian State Border Service's Heart Brigade delivered a devastating blow to the Russian forces. Now, according to their command, the following were destroyed: a tank, a BMP-3, 4 enemy vehicles, a communications van, 2 generators, a fuel and lubricants depot, along with enemy positions and dugouts. The operation confirmed the effectiveness of combining unmanned aerial vehicles with artillery to target enemy personnel, equipment, and logistical infrastructure. Enemy losses are reported as significant, and control over this section of the front line is now safer for Ukrainian units. On the eve of Ukraine's Military Intelligence Day, the main intelligence directorate of Ukraine carried out precision strikes on 2 high-value air defense facilities belonging to Russian forces in the occupied Crimean Peninsula. The targets were the Potlot radar system and the Nebu-M complex. The radar module of the Nebu-M was destroyed while in motion as Russian forces were leaving their combat duty position. The operation showcased the high skill of Ukrainian unmanned system operators and demonstrated the effectiveness of remote strikes technologies in destroying key components of Russia's air defense. Ukrainian soldiers showed lightning-fast reaction time when they shot down a Russian FPV drone with direct automatic fire. Now, this drone had been chasing a pickup truck carrying Ukrainian servicemen at high speed. Thanks to their quick response, the soldiers avoided casualties and saved the vehicle. This video shows how Ukrainian forces are not only skilled with their weapons, but also highly adaptive in countering new threats on the battlefield.
Он летить, готовься, сейчас будем стрелять. Готовься, сейчас будем стрелять. Yes!
On the road in the Donetsk region, Russian occupiers face serious difficulties while traveling on motorcycles. They collided head-on. Now, this is another showcase of the disorganization and chaos within Russian units on the front line, even when using equipment meant to provide mobility.
Бля. Ты чё, кого на видишь, куда едешь или чё, ёбаный в рот? Я свернул уже, ёбаный. Куда ты на свернул? Я, блядь, вот ехал, ёбаный насос, вот, блядь. Сука. Ну ты, блядь, вообще вообще в... сука. Свернул. Поехали, нахуй. Заебись, блядь.
And with that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.